Broncos country, we're going to take a look at all three series of Bo Nix in the starting offense against the New Orleans Saints. This is the first play of the game. We're really going to go on a drive-by-drive sequence here. Now, this is going to be a fake toss here to the left side to RJ Harvey, to Courtland Sutton climbing underneath here on a crossing pattern. If this DB was to stay right here at this exact spot and this was going to happen for Courtland to get across, this might have been a really big play. But the Saints DB, Ugo Amadi, does a really good job of getting up here, being able to pretty much off the line of scrimmage here, get in the hip pocket of Courtland and climb tight underneath. That's such a tough play to make for a lot of DBs just because the angle of it, all the traffic, all the crossing stuff right there. Bo's going to – that's a well-placed football. Perfectly placed football, better played by the defensive back. Let's watch it here from the end zone angle. You're obviously on a toss play. You're just going to get down blocks here from the entire offensive line, right? You're going to bring the motion right here by Adam Troutman, bring it backside, boot, and then obviously everything is predicated off of this guy right here. So let's take a look at it. Full speed, you bring the motion, you get flow to one side here to try to get these linebackers to draw. You go crosser here, you boot backside. Marvin Mims taking this cornerback vertically right here, and the idea is to get Courtland the ball in space. Just a well-placed football. DB does a great job bringing his hand through, knocking the football away, incomplete on first down. RJ Harvey's going to get a carry on this play right here, and there's really nowhere for him to go on this inside handoff, essentially, for him, right? You got a fullback lead. He's reading it right. He finds the hole he's supposed to hit, but the Saints defense does a really good job of clogging it up. You're going to get a better angle here from the end zone perspective because what we have right here, you have a one technique here from this D tackle. You have a three technique right here from this defensive lineman right here. Obviously, Chase Young playing outside. A defensive lineman playing a 4-eye here on Mike McGlinchey, and then you got someone who's wide. Plus, you got your linebackers here who could fill. Now, what's going to happen here is you're watching, and I'm going to pause it as we go. You're going to get the fullback lead. He's going to lead up here. Garrett Bull's going to crash down right here on this D lineman. Ben Power's going to crash right here. Wattenberg's got a one-on-one. Quinn's got a one-on-one, and McGlinchey's got a one-on-one. RJ's going to get the handoff right here, and ideally where this is opening up is this hole right here. If he steps here, this guy's going to make a play. He's going to make it. So RJ does the right thing, reads exactly where he's supposed to go, and sees that he's going to try to get skinny here. Ben Powers is going to fall down right here, though, right? So no one ever gets up to the next level to try to get this linebacker. So he gets skinny, gets north, which is what he's coached to do. He's only going to get a couple yards on this play, not much, but he made the right decision here. It just wasn't a super positive result. Third down incompletion right here by the Broncos offense. This is going to be Bo throwing to Courtland. Now what's going to happen is the Saints, they're playing zone defense. Their corner is going to be climbing. Safeties over the top here. Linebacker right here, Demario Davis, he's walked up, but he's going to climb to a deep middle right here and just patrol anything on the crossing patterns where you're going to get a curl to flat look here from, obviously, Ugo Amadi, the nickel defender. You're going to get motion here to trips. And what's going to happen is this defensive lineman, the nose tackle right here, is going to cross face and have a free lane here at Bo Nix, is going to hit him on the play. And it's all created because Cam Jordan crashes down inside, knocks Quinn Miners off of his spot, which makes it very, very tough for Bo not to take a shot here. So we'll look at the offensive line here in a second, but everyone is spot dropping, right? Corner's playing zone right here. This defender is climbing out to play this curl to flat. And then, obviously, you have your safeties over the top. So Courtland's recognizing, hey, this is zone. The linebacker's clearing. I'm coming here. Courtland looks like he's trying to sit right here, but because this D lineman is rushing Bo Nix really quickly and is going to hit him, Courtland is settling down as if he's going to hitch, right? And I think Bo thinks he's going to keep going. So a little bit of a miscommunication here. Now, in a fast simulated situation, let's say Courtland keeps running and Bo hits him, this defender might dislodge and hit Courtland pretty hard. You don't want that to happen in the preseason. So just a little off page here between these two guys on third down. It's correctable stuff. They obviously had a really great connection the rest of the game here. But let's take a look. We're going to watch right here, number 90, and we're going to watch Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan does a great job of creating this play where he's just going to attack down the line of scrimmage tightly. He's going to hit Quinn Miners on a spot that's really hard for Quinn to adjust here. And then he's going to come free here to blow up and hit Bo Nix after he throws the football. You don't want to see your quarterback take shots here, right? But obviously pre-snap, you have a walk-up linebacker. You're recognizing, okay, hey, one technique right here, walk-up linebacker. These guys are king alert because sometimes if this guy goes, then this guy also might be blitzing as well. So they have to communicate, hey, we might have a situation where it's 2 blockers against 3, but that's not the play, right? Drop back here, and you're recognizing this after the snap happens. So it is complex. It's not as easy as maybe Madden makes it seem for so many people here. But let's take a look. Linebacker, he's dropping to a spot, getting depth here. He's crashing hard down the line of scrimmage. So is Cam Jordan here. Now, I don't know what Zach Strief communicates or works with these guys on, what they're exactly coached to do, right? We're just making our speculation based on what we're watching. But if Cam Jordan is crashing down this hard, right, there's a reason for that. It's to free this guy up. So should McGlinchey and Quinn be communicating inside out, whereas McGlinchey's going to pass off Cam Jordan inside? You have a tailback here who could chip, and obviously he's going to chip and release out here to the flat. But could McGlinchey pass off Cam Jordan to Quinn Miners, and could Quinn pass off this D lineman here to McGlinchey? The game happens at 1,000,000 miles an hour. So it's easy when we pause this to say, okay, this is what they should have done. But now you get a free rusher here into the face of Bo Nix. You don't want him to take a shot at all in the preseason. That's a hard angle for Quinn to have to try to adjust on. And so Bo just gets us out quickly. Cortland settles for a second if he's going to stop. Bo thinks he's going to keep going. Just a little miscommunication between these guys that leads to an incomplete play here on 3rd down. Screen plays are back in the Mile High City. No, I'm not talking about film. I'm talking about the screen pass here for the Broncos. You get a pistol look pre-snap. It goes to gun here because of the motion. And Bo's going to fake the inside handoff here to RJ Harvey, but really he's reading this defensive end right here, because if he crashes down, all right, we've got Troy here on a little bit of that bubble screen, that little quick screen there. If he stays, you might actually give this to Harvey, and then you're working here, obviously, your blocks there to open stuff up in the run game. So this is RPO essentially here, because, look, now your offensive line, these guys are looking for work. You got 2 guys right here blocking, right? It's a numbers advantage. You got 3 in one area, 2 guys working one block. Ideally, somebody should be right here pinning, and this guy should be working up here. And then you're going to have Troy, who could obviously do damage yards after the catch. Instead, 2 guys are blocking one guy. It allows the other guy to come up and make a play. Troy's going to fight for a couple of yards here on this play. Positive yards, you'll always take that, but there's room for improvement here by the Broncos. And, you know, you like the look right here. Obviously, Troy is tight to the line of scrimmage. Defensive end is right here, inside shade of him, and so really he's the guy that Bo is reading. Now watch it right here. You can take a look. Bo is reading. Hey, he's crashing down here. Okay, if I wanted to, I could hand this off to Harvey, and then maybe he can sprinkle it inside, right? Or he can track it out and then make a play. But, I mean, even if they hand it off right here, this guy's beating McGlinchey inside. You're working your double team here, whereas hopefully Wattenberg can get up here to this guy, and then obviously hopefully Ben Powers on this play, if it were a run, could seal him in while Garrett comes up to seal that linebacker there. And then maybe, boom, maybe you could work your way up there. Instead, hey, this guy is crashing down, so we got the numbers advantage. I'm going to pull, and I'm going to throw to Troy. And then once again, these guys just working the block on one guy. You want one guy to come off and maybe block here. And then maybe Troy has a chance to get extra yards here. Not saying it could be a really big play, possibly, but it could have been better blocked here, I think, on the perimeter. Instead of 2 blockers on 1 defender, you could have gotten, one-on-ones there overall. Bo on this play is looking like he's trying to find RJ Harvey for a quick shot here in the flat. He's going to come up underneath, but this nickel defender right here is going to make things challenging. He's going to get his hands up by jumping, obviously, while blitzing, which alters the potential trajectory in which Bo can throw. Adam Troutman on this play, as we all know, is going to chip release 1,001. He's going to take a shot here, makes a tough catch here. We'll go through everything here. So Troutman's going to chip release 1,001. Look, right here, he's trying to hit RJ quick because then RJ can catch it. Yards after the catch, you got the numbers advantage. If he catches it or if these guys run off, if it were man, they'd probably run these guys off. Maybe you could beat this defender, but ideally you're going to get 5 to 6 yards on this play. But because of that, Bo has to extend this play out here. He's going to roll. This is a tough throw for him to make. Kind of crossbody. Makes a beautiful throw here to Troutman, but that's what we call a hospital ball. I would have said, hey, live to see another day. Throw it away. Troutman gets 2 yards on the play. But, man, watch this angle here, right? Great job by the nickel defender taking away the trajectory where Bo wants to throw. For Bo to make this throw right here, tough. But then, once again, hospital ball, bang, takes a shot there. You don't want your tight ends to take that, so throw it away. Live to see another day. 3rd and 5 here for the Broncos offense. Tyler Bidet is in the game. He's going to get an inside handoff here, and this is just not blocked well by the Broncos, by Trent Sherfield and Ben Powers. Now you get motion here by Marvin Mims to the outside, which is going to draw this safety to get a coverage indicator. They're playing man coverage right here. You're going to bring, obviously, the motion. You're going to bring Evan Ingram backside to block. And then what's going to happen is Trent Sherfield is supposed to come out here to block the nickel defender. You're going to get Garrett Bowles to come out here to upend, potentially Chase Young. And then Ben Powers, hopefully you can get him on a block here on this defensive lineman. Powers and Sherfield missed their blocking assignments here, and it leads to no gain, negative plays here on 3rd and 5. But A has nowhere to go. So let's take a look at it here from the other angle. I drew it up for you previously there. So as we're seeing, you're going to get Evan Ingram backside blocking right here. Trent Sherfield ideally should come up here and block right here. Garrett Bowles is going to block Chase Young. And then obviously, because this guy's going to come inside, Ben Powers has to do a good job on trying to get this guy right here. So let's take a look at it, speed it up a little bit. We'll pause it as we go. Okay. Great arm move here by the defensive lineman. So at this point, hopefully Powers can readjust and push him this way, right? In a perfect world, this is all happening a million miles an hour. Hopefully you can get an inside reach block here. Boom. And then ideally the hole should be right here for Bidet to be able to hit. But because this defender makes a play, and now he beats Powers inside, Sherfield overcommits, and now this defender's right here. Bidet has nowhere really to go. He can't make a play right here. And Chase Young obviously crashes it down there. So this is just not a well-blocked play here by the Broncos offensive line and by Sherfield. Sean Payton right here says, I don't care. It's 4th and 5. We're going to go for it at midfield. Now, the Broncos, they're going to get man coverage here. You have a too-high shell over the top, right? So you got two safeties playing, that kind of deep quarters here. Now, what's going to happen is man coverage, man coverage, man coverage, man coverage right here. Linebacker playing man alignment right here against this tailback. Now, obviously, if this tailback were to go this way, then you might have to readjust here. So he's keying right here, the running back. Cortland Sutton, stab, back shoulder throw right here. Beautiful play. He and Bo Nix continue to play that backyard football. And look, he even slips a little bit initially there on the turf. Great adjustment, back shoulder, boom. That is their bread and butter play. But I want you guys to watch Evan Ingram right here. Watch this route. Inside stab move, gets this DB to turn and commit. Now, whoop, vertical. Now watch him break inside. Like this play right here, this is going to eat in the regular season. Evan Ingram is going to be a difference maker. The Broncos haven't showcased him a lot, and I think that's on purpose by Sean Payton. There's going to be a lot to like here about Ingram in this game, but let's just continue to watch here. What does the pass protection look like for Bo Nix here on this back shoulder throw? Well, as you can see, you've got a guy playing the apex between Quinn and Mike McGlinchey. McGlinchey's going to step to take Cam Jordan one-on-one. Quinn's going to have a one-on-one here, and you got to always be alert to this walk-up linebacker. So that's exactly what's happening. Ben Powers and Garrett, they're going to step inside. They're going to communicate to focus on him first because the inside threat is always the nearest, quickest path to the quarterback. And then you're going to get the one-on-one right here. Really, this guy is just keying the tailback. So Wattenberg is playing his one-on-one right here as well. As you can see, now he crosses over. Ben Powers steps down to help out with the double team. Quinn is crashing his guy down because they're trying to free up the cross face right here. And then you just have the one-on-one between Garrett and Chase Young, one-on-one with your offensive tackle. So good protection here. Bo sets his feet, fires it beautifully. Cortland Sutton, first down, keeps the drive alive, keeps the chains moving here for the Broncos offense. Now on this play, Evan Ingram is going to be the target here underneath. He's going to drop this. Looks like a concentration drop. Definitely have to shore this up. This can't be something that you carry with you consistently in the regular season. Route concept here. Trent Sherfield's going to stab inside, have a little bit of vertical release before kind of breaking it out right here. And watch Evan Ingram on his route because he's going to shoulder dipped underneath here against Chase Young and then get vertical against zone coverage and then sit. He does a great job of sitting. And ideally, if he can hold on to this, he might have a nice little play yards after the catch because now, bam, plants that outside foot, breaking inside. He's sitting, showing the numbers here, and he's just looking to get upfield too much. Concentration drop. It leads to a 2nd and 10 coming up. That's going to be one that he wants back here. From a pass protection standpoint, you have double threes right here by the defensive line. He's going to attack inside. Wattenberg's going to turn this into a one-on-one. It looks like this defensive lineman right here, number 93, looks like he beats Ben Powers to the outside. He swims through right here. Wattenberg's trying to plant his foot to stay anchored. Maybe it could be a little bit lower. Once again, I'm not his O-line coach, so I'm not going to sit here and try to pretend I know what he's being coached to do. But you've got your center who's getting a little close to your quarterback, and now you have a rusher right here who is coming, from the outside, would force maybe a step up here. I just didn't like the pressure at times from the New Orleans Saints defense against Denver. I felt like too many inside tracks to the quarterback. Not for my liking here, but Evan Ingram's got to make that play. So on the very next play, the Broncos facing a 2nd and 10. They're just going to try to get a quick hitter out to the flat to RJ Harvey here, and he's going to get a few yards, going to bring up 3rd and 7 on the next play. Flat defender makes a great play, tackling Harvey, keeps the clock running here. Let's take a look at it here from the other angle. Now, I don't know if I'm nitpicking, but I think throughout the preseason, I have been concerned about this. The center and the left guard here in terms of consistency. It seems like Ben Powers, Wattenberg, just watch like where Bo is. Like Bo's obviously getting the ball. He's taking it's a one step. But look at Ben Powers. Ben Powers being pushed right here. I mean, he's not too far off from Bo. You don't need your offensive lineman in the QB's lap on a play-to-play basis. I feel like there were several instances in this game where that became a little bit of an example. Bo Nix makes a tremendous play here through a chaotic pocket, finding Tyler Bidet for a big-time catch and run on 3rd down while falling away. Too much pressure by Ben Powers given up right here. Let's take a look at it once again. Just watch the rush. Quinn Miners and Luke Wattenberg are working the double team right here. Quinn's going to obviously take him and dominate right here while Luke Wattenberg's going to peel back, but Ben Powers getting pushed here into the lap of Bo Nix. These outside rushers here, they're going to attack upfield and wide, and of course your tackles, they're going to lateral kick step. They're going to give up some ground there because they have to take the guys wide and upfield here. So there should not be any interior penetration or pressure because then that makes a bow around Bo Nix, right? A dirty, chaotic pocket. Bad things can happen there. Bo makes something out of nothing. Tyler Bidet does the rest. They're impressive play by those two, but man, and I hate to sound like I'm harping, but really the concern in 2 preseason games for the Broncos starting O-line has been Ben Powers and Luke Wattenberg. Now, Luke, obviously, pre-snap here, you've got a one technique on you, and you got a walk-up linebacker. So you got 2 guys here in your A gap. So you have to make sure who's coming, who's not. 3rd down, most of the time, some teams will blitz, but most of the time these guys just all drop back into coverage. So then that leaves a 4-man rush between these guys. Now, obviously, outside, so you're going to get the kick, step, and work against your outside defensive ends. So your interior pass protection has to be communicated. Linebacker's going to drop, so now Luke Wattenberg's going to attack here. Quinn is going to help out. Quinn is going to take this. Luke's going to step back here, but Ben Powers, his back foot is already here. He's getting pushed back into the running back and then into the lap of the quarterback right here. Luckily, Wattenberg peels back and is going to shoulder blast him right here, which does help, but that's problematic because the interior has to be where you're protected the most, and that's just simply not the case here. Bidet makes the play. Let's take a look at it here once again. Just a little frustrating here from this vantage point to see pushback here on the interior. Luckily, Bo doesn't get sacked. Luckily, no one gets stepped on. Leads to a 1st down. You live to see another day, but man, this has got to get cleaned up before week 1. 1st and goal here for the Broncos following that play to Bidet, and I like this play. This is just a fade shot play here from Bo to Cortland. Cornerback is playing outside leverage, so Cortland's release from the line of scrimmage is hopefully going to get him to commit for a second to where he can stab, get outside, and then that cornerback can kind of play underneath. Because, look, you got a safety playing over the top, which allows him to play a little more physical. Bo places this football, in my opinion, where it needs to be. High to the outside, maybe a tad bit too high here. Now, obviously, Cortland's going to step down here to adjust a little bit because he might be able to work a crosser, right? So this corner has to respect that. So, as you can see, Cortland here, he's our target. He's who we're keying right here. Nice little move at the line of scrimmage. Cornerback jams. He brings the hand through, and now Cortland's working up the sideline right here. Bo places this high to the outside, exactly where it should be. Just a tad bit too high, an inch too high here for Cortland, and this is going to lead to an incomplete play. That could have been a touchdown, maybe down at the 1. There's something that these guys are going to continue to work on. But, one thing you want to see, like, Bo doesn't throw this inside, which is good. Like, so many quarterbacks tend to put this too far inside. It leads to tips and picks. You don't want that to happen. So I'd rather this be high to the outside here. I'm sure the coaching staff would prefer that as well. Pre-snap, pass protection, outside, outside. So Tyler Bidet is going to help Adam Troutman right here in pass protection here on this situation. On the shot play here, you get a 4-eye right here, an outside release, 1 tech, and then a 3 tech right here, and then obviously a linebacker who you got a key who could potentially be an A-gap player. So let's take a look at the shot play right here from Bo. Good protection initially, just a 1 step. Fire the shot high. Look at this, perfectly high to the outside. Just an inch too high on this play, incomplete. These guys are going to get this play down before the regular season gets here or as the regular season commences. The Broncos are trying to get to the perimeter here in the run-blocking game to free up RJ Harvey outside. Cortland Sutton is going to crash down and crack block Cam Jordan. It's going to allow Mike McGlinchey to pull up here to get the space. Troy Franklin is going to come inside to work against the nickel defender. And then Quinn Miners, obviously, if you get the pull here, you can work up. Quinn Miners is going to step up here to try to seal. And then Luke Wattenberg initially is going to peel back here while Ben Powers is going to chip and then try to seal this linebacker right here, right? This is designed to be an outside run here. Nothing formulates. You get some interior leakage, but Cortland does a great job pushing Cam Jordan out of the way. And if you just sustain a couple of your blocks here, right, Davis breaks through and is going to impact Mike McGlinchey. Miners is working right here. And then obviously this defender makes an outside move against Troy Franklin's outside shoulder. So now it's basically, you can't really bounce this outside. This guy's taking an angle. This guy could track backside. This could actually be a negative play. They get back to the line of scrimmage here, but just got to be a little bit better in terms of sustaining blocks. Now, obviously, we can pause these film reviews. We can find like the perfect steal almost every single time when we analyze. But the reality is this game is played at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and it's thinking on the go, right? So ideally, you get your pull right here. Quinn Miners is working up against Demario Davis. Ben Powers is trying to get here against the linebacker Warner, who's going to end up making this play. RJ Harvey is doing exactly what he should do. He's working it outside, right? But because you have penetration right here, now this guy gets free to the outside. It makes RJ Harvey have to think a little bit more. When in the perfect world, if everyone seals, he's springing up the sideline potentially for a touchdown. He can make the safety miss. You see that. Instead, he knows, hey, this isn't opening. Like, if I keep running outside, this guy's just going to tackle me. So, ideally, the cutback and getting north is going to be the play right here, which is exactly what he does. He reads exactly what he should do in this situation. Unfortunately, your backside pursuit linebacker and this nickel defender are going to free up, and they're going to wrap him up here. So, you're lucky enough right here to get back to the line of scrimmage if you're RJ Harvey. Right decision by him on this play. Broncos work the screen game right here to Tyler Bidet, as you can see out of the backfield. This is a nice setup by Bo Nix to him, but I don't feel like the block sustain long enough, and you get backside pursuit, which kind of makes a little bit of a dent in this. Mike McGlinchey does a good job working upfield with Cam Jordan. Quinn Miners does a great job staying right here on this defensive lineman and does enough to work him back. He's pushing him back at this point. Luke Wattenberg is going to peel back here against this guy, and so Bidet's going to catch it. You got one wide receiver out here blocking on the perimeter, but then basically you have a free path for these two guys to be able to try to hit Bidet here or wrap him up. Because, look, here's the first down marker right here. Bidet's behind the sticks, so these guys have a good pursuit path with one blocker, whereas this guy also comes through, beats inside of Wattenberg, and then now it's just a numbers game. Quinn is pushing his guy back and is dominating, but really there's nowhere for Bidet to take this here to get a good positive gain. And so now that sets up fourth down. Broncos have to settle for a field goal on this play. So let's take a look at it here from the other angle. This always gives us a little bit more of a telling read on where the O-line is going. As you can see, Wattenberg's out here working upfield. You like that on the screen game, work upfield, and then these guys are really out of the play because they get too far up. Wattenberg does a good job peeling back here, but maybe if he stays, I don't know, maybe more linear right here. This guy can't track underneath backside, and then maybe their pursuit gets a little too much. But once again, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 potential defenders right here that can make this play. One outside perimeter block. So there's really nowhere for Bidet to go on this play. He gets wrapped up short. Once again, Broncos settle for the field goal here on their second drive. RJ Harvey's going to try to get this run going, but nothing opens up. This looks like it's designed to kind of be an outside run. It closes up outside, so then he tries to cut back inside. Doesn't look like anything's there against the Saints here. As you can see, the Broncos working that right there. Now, ideally, what you're thinking right here, you see this green grass Ideally, you want to say, okay, hey, RJ, plant your foot and then just get up here. But look what happens. Like, watch how fast this can get closed up by this linebacker here. I mean, yes, you could do it. You might get more positive yards in this situation, but he's here. This backside defensive end is going to be right there as well. So he tries to extend it out because that's where he's reading the blocks. You get this right here, one-on-one. You're working right here against this guy on the outside, and ideally, you want to be able to try to get this out here. I mean, that he makes the right decision here, and then that closes up. Then he cuts and gets north-south here. The Broncos' run game still has a lot to work on before the regular season comes here, and of course, so much of it is predicated on the type of front that they are facing. That's what Sean Payton said. So, on this, they're trying to get this outside. As you can see, you've got a one technique right here. You got a 4-eye, or we can call this a 5 because he's close to being head up against Garrett Bowles. Outside D end, outside here, and then obviously you have a 3 tech. So a 3, a 1, a 4-eye, or a 5, and then your 2 outside guys. Then you have a linebacker who can go sideline to sideline. It's problematic. But now you got the numbers game. You got Adam Troutman out here to help out. So let's take a look at how this is approached here, working against the 3 tech. How does Quinn Miners approach and work this? He's going to attack, and it looks like he's really trying to climb to maybe seal, because now you got McGlinchey who's stepping out to work right here, but it looks like McGlinchey's eyeing that this guy could maybe pursue the linebacker, so maybe he can get here and seal. He can kick out, and then ideally in a perfect world, RJ Harvey can hit it right there between the tackle and the tight end. But basically, as you see this stretched out, okay, now look, this defender is outside, so why would RJ want to have to try to keep running here? Well, RJ sees that, all right, this guy is stepping, looks like he's going to play here, looks like this linebacker can step here, and there's no vision necessarily on saying, hey, this guy could wrap around here, so basically you'd be running into 3 defenders. That's why Sean Payton wants a patient running back here. RJ Harvey waits, he diagnoses it a little bit, Quinn Miners adjusts, Mike McGlinchey's going to work up, Troutman right here, if he could just kick this guy out, RJ could bounce it, maybe get 4 or 5 on this play, right? But obviously it's a tough task. Tight ends have landmarks. They got to stay on it. And now you get the hold. Trent Sherfield with the block here. But as you can see, if most people, if they played Madden, would probably just have him keep running here. He does a really good job of stopping and recognizing, hey, I got to be able to get north-south. He recognized that, hits where he's supposed to there. But, I mean, the pursuit from the Saints combined with everything else, the Broncos just got to work on this a little bit more. It is a concern right now before week 1 of the regular season. They're going to have to get this going if they want to have success in the run game this upcoming season. Nix in the offense right here. They're going to run some run action, which means that they're going to pull Quinn Miners from the right side to the left side, backside for protection, because this is really trying to set up Bo to reset here in the middle of the pocket while everything else is going on longer developing routes downfield. But because of interior pressure, Bo has to escape. Right here, you want him to obviously set and let things develop. But look at this. You've got a corner running with your outside receiver right here with the safety floating right over here towards the hash, a safety over the top, and then you got your corner playing outside zone here, and then you have a linebacker who's just really kind of keying for the leak out here by RJ Harvey. This is a zone, right? They're all dropping to a spot, and so basically for Bo, this longer developing stuff is not going to be there. So he's going to have to escape out of the pocket because of this guy right here. He's going to chase him while these guys are trying to crash out. So he's going to escape to the outside to hopefully try to find RJ, but it's not going to be there enough. I mean, he could throw it now and try to get it to him, and maybe he can get upfield, but it's tough when you're being chased and you're rolling out to your right. He's trying to maybe see if, hey, can Marvin come open here with Sherfield going over here? Is it going to draw this defender away? Could he hit this potentially? Well, pressure always changes that, and that would be hard for Bo right here to turn, flip, and throw all the way across his body, especially with this underneath defender here. You may not get the power in that throw. But linebacker right here gets here way too early, unnecessarily shoves RJ Harvey in the back. The ball's not even thrown. It leads to a 15-yard penalty. It keeps the drive alive, which was a good thing here for the Broncos offense. You can't always rely on penalties, though. But let's watch it here from this angle. You're going to see the backside pull here, run action from Quinn Miners, just to be able to set this up, right? To attack the deep, to intermediate, middle parts of the field. Now, ideally, Bo's going to set his feet right here. But now, look at this. He sees this guy's chasing right here. This guy's crashing down. This guy's right here. So he's going to have to escape this right here. Maybe if we could critique, try to hit RJ Harvey sooner. Instead, he's going to try to bow this out. Nothing is developing across the field right here, and he's just going to throw it away. And then just unnecessary roughness right there by Davis. Free 15 yards, automatic first down. The Broncos, they'll take that any day. The Broncos on this play are going to try to get the run game going, right? You got I formation. You have a fullback in the backfield. This is Jumbo. Well, now you motion him out there, right? So, it's an unbalanced formation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You go unbalanced here. And the idea with number 63, Alex Palczewski, reporting as eligible, he's the extra guy in. There's nothing for the Broncos right here for RJ Harvey to do, right? He does a counter step. He's going to try to follow Marvin inside, but that's not there. So he sees that there might be a little opening inside. It's not there. Number 92 forces him to bounce it right here. RJ is doing everything he's supposed to be doing. When you look at it from the end zone angle, it just seems like there's so much chaos in with the Broncos' run game right now and the run blocking. Look, obviously, there's different landmarks that they have compared to last year, right? You're working initial double teams trying to get to the next level on certain guys, certain looks, but it just seems like if you're really trying to focus on vision and guys hitting the holes, like it seems like they're not staying on blocks long enough, right? Because initially you get a one-on-one with Luke Wattenberg. Ben Power's going to engage one-on-one against the D tackle here. And then you got Garrett who's working against, obviously, the defensive end. Marvin is going to kind of be this underneath guy where he's going to eventually probably lead right here, right? If this guy crashes in, maybe Marvin comes outside to lead, and then RJ can hit it. But RJ's hitting a counter step here. Now watch right here. Now we can pause it and we say, okay, there's a hole opening up. You got to see it. Palczewski overcommits. This defensive lineman right here is going to get this outside hand free, right? Marvin could lead up here, but you have Marvin against Demario Davis. But it's like, okay, what do we see? Great job by RJ because, look, this isn't here. This is not here. He's going to get tackled for a loss on this play. But backside, this is why even if the play is designed to go away from you, you got to be patient for that, for the inside cut. RJ's going to do that. Now this guy is going to cross face on Luke Wattenberg. Maybe my critique here, RJ, just fall forward, try to get as many positive yards as you can right here, 2 or 3, whatever it may be. So because this D lineman is crashing here, you can see RJ plant once again, and now he's going to try to cut it up here to maybe where he can get somewhere. There's nothing developing here in the run blocking game. This is stuff that has to get cleaned up. Probably technical stuff here, but for the Broncos O-line, it is fixable. This was one of Bo Nix's best throws of the day here. We're going to keep an eye on Courtland Sutton at the bottom of your screen. He's condensed closer to the line of scrimmage, right? I formation here. You're going to get boot action, roll out to your left for Bo. Right-handed thrower rolling out to his left. This is hard for a lot of quarterbacks to do, yet he does it. Throws an absolute dot here to Courtland Sutton, who's going to have a hard in-break. Corner's going to climb over the top, maybe overcommit, which allows Courtland to break it back to the outside. Watch that. Now, he's got separation against the corner. You got your underneath routes coming there by the tight end and obviously by your other receiver, but this is an absolute dot from Bo Nix. And then Courtland Sutton does what he does best. Yards after the catch, being able to play through contact. 43 yards between he and Bo Nix on this play. So let's watch how it sets up here pre-snap. You're going to see, obviously, tight end, chip, come across. You're going to have another receiver coming across as well. The Broncos do a really good job of running these routes quite a bit, right? You create flow to one side. Everyone step down while you get everything else on the other side. Now, ideally, Courtland could keep running this way, right? And you have 2 different crossing patterns, and you put the inside linebackers and safeties in a bind. But you show this here, hard plant, and you get back to the outside where you have your underneath guys here as well as last resort options. Now, he's not going to throw the tight end. Tight end's covered. This linebacker, Davis, has got good enough depth where, I don't know if Marvin's going to make this play. You got this safety you could trail over the top. Courtland Sutton is the right read right here. And just watch the absolute dime of a throw here by Bo Nix to Courtland. In stride, boom, steps on the sideline, does the rest. This connection between 10 and 14 is going to be big all season long here for the Broncos offense when we talk about volume and targets. Bo's going to go right back to Courtland on the next play here. He's going to get 7 yards. Courtland at the top of our screen is going to be working a slant inside against the cornerback, right? 2 high safety look pre-snap, 2 inside linebackers. Broncos in 11 personnel. 11 personnel means 1 running back, 1 tight end. So those are your 2 guys. 3 wide receivers, that's 11. So what's going to happen here is we're getting a man coverage indicator initially because of the motion. Now the motion is forcing the linebacker to cheat over. Well, because you have 3 receivers here and you have a 4th passing option right here, it could change up the rules where the corner's playing man here, man. You could have the safety playing man on the tight end, and then you can have, obviously, the linebacker playing man right here on the running back while you just get man coverage and you have 1 safety over the top at this point, and you could have some inside help underneath from this linebacker. So we're going to get the motion there. Okay, Bo seeing how they adjust. We're going to commit to it. Motion once again. Broncos right here could be setting up just a quick screen here to the running back, and you can see this nickel defender, how he comes up and plays it is basically preparing for that. He's coming up. These guys are blocking. Troutman's given a block look right here. This is what we just simply call, hey, all right, this isn't there, the numbers game. We're going to hit the inside slant right here to Courtland Sutton. Do that. Boom, well-placed ball, 7 yards. Now you got a 2nd and 3 that's coming up on this play. Let's take a look at it here. Once again, we'll run it full speed this time. I always like watching Courtland Sutton working his release, right? Patient. Corners patient, does a pretty solid job, but Courtland gets the inside release right there. That's all you need. A little bit of time inside, and bang, you're going to get yards after the catch. 7 yards. The slant is back in Sean Payton's offense, folks. We haven't seen that in quite some time here in Denver. So, as you can see, based on how the defense is trying to play the back, he's keying him. Warner is a potential man threat. Now you get the motion backside. Okay, everyone's cheating. Now he's just going to be playing anything crossing middle of the field here or playing spy against Bo Nix. So Bo sees, okay, I've got the inside advantage here. We know we got the backside slant. Bang. We're going to hit it to Courtland. Now we're in business. It's 2nd and short. We'll take that any day. 2nd and 3 on this play after Sutton catches the slant here. Broncos, they're going to have one tailback in the backfield. That's Tyler Bidet, Bo Nix under center right here. And then you've got a stack formation here with Courtland Sutton and Troy Franklin. Now, Courtland's just going to come off here. He's going to block. Troy's going to catch the quick smoke screen right here. And he's going to get 2 yards, right? Now, I would say maybe on this, Bo, if he wanted to, maybe could have handed this off. But this looks like a design throw the entire time, right? Boom, we're going to have a block right here because it's short yardage situations. I think the Broncos will, if we get 2 yards on this play, okay, now we got 3rd and 1. Then we'll have a better plan right there. So for Troy to catch this, he's going to make a move, get upfield, good block by Sutton, but then all the other defenders are going to close in on here. It's just about getting forward and getting positive yards. He's going to get 2, and now that brings up a 3rd and 1 on the next play. I know the Broncos at that point will then have a penalty after this play that backs them up, and then we're going to get to the Courtland Sutton touchdown catch here. But watch, Bo. This really, you could run it, but this is the design throw all the way here, it looks like, from Bo Nix. Boom, look, right? Just quick, zip, little laser. Good blocking by Court. Nice little plant inside. Now getting north there, fighting through contact. Been impressed with Troy Franklin all offseason long. He's been the most impressive player here for Denver. Bo Nix is going to find Courtland Sutton right here for a touchdown. Broncos, they are in 12 personnel, right? 1 running back. You have 2 tight ends right here. And basically what's going to happen here is this nickel defender is going to blitz off of the left side. You're going to get man coverage. Safety's going to have to play Courtland as man. And then you have your different route concepts here from Evan Ingram, where he's going to be coming up the numbers. And it looks like you're going to get some zone coverage over here on the right side of the Broncos offense. Defensive left side. Bo does the right thing here, right? You want to throw against the blitz, and that's exactly what you're going to get. These guys have made that connection so many times. All right, we're recognizing snap. I see the blitzer coming here. Okay, I got Courtland on the vertical climb. He's going to break in. And this is where I'm just going to throw it. A little off platform there, but big body, kind of a back shoulder, touchdown to Courtland Sutton. The 10 and 14 connection is going to be big here once again this season. But just a good play here from Bo Nix in the offense. And a way to finish strong for them, right? Because you're going to get this inside pressure here. You're going to get the crash down, a one-on-one. You got the blitz, so you got a guy coming hot. You have to throw it. He does exactly that, stays patient. Boom. Fires. Beautiful throw, beautiful catch. Touchdown Broncos. Next up, Tennessee Titans, regular season.